This is John Costa, the editor of Citizen's Eye, and I'm here at Phoenix Square for Idaho, the International Day Against Homophobia. And we're at the Redp store with George Ballentyne. How are you, George?
I'm fine, John, thanks.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the Redp, and then maybe why Redp is here supporting this event today that we're running with Victim Support.
Sure. Redp stands for the Regional Equality and Diversity Partnership, and it's a group of voluntary community sector organisations that spans the East Midlands, mostly based in Leicester, and it's a pan-equalities organisation, so we actually deal with the whole range of protected characteristics as defined in the Equality Act 2010, and today we're here because one of the protected characteristics that we address is sexual orientation. And since Idaho is the International Day Against Homophobia, that's a typical kind of event that Redp would turn out for.
Now, I was talking to Andrew earlier from Trade Sexual Health opposite us in the marketplace here, and I was saying sometimes people get caught up on having national or international days, and that's the only time we talk about these things. But sometimes we should be talking about them all the time, and these are the days that we kind of celebrate the successes, but also kind of galvanise ourselves for the year ahead, if you like, keeping it going.
Well, it is important to have these special days where you can make this kind of impact and get something in front of the public, but certainly Redp is concerned with working on these issues all the time. And in relation to homophobia, for example, well, I work for Leicester Council of Faiths, and there's a general feeling in the public that faith communities and faith organisations are somehow more homophobic, or they're opposed to the rights of people who are gay, bisexual, lesbian or transgendered. And one of the ways that Redp deals with this is that we quite deliberately show an organisation like the Council of Faiths working alongside the LGBT Centre, and sometimes if we've got activities we'll actually have me and our partner from the LGBT Centre, who's been Ian Robson, the director. We'll go out and do something together, do a presentation or something like that, to kind of gently confront, courteously confront the fact that people have got that kind of prejudice, that you think somehow faith organisations and LGBT groups can't work together, or that you should somehow be opposed to each other. So we like to show that you can cross those divides between equalities and do that kind of work 24/7 and every day of the year.
How do you get that kind of working, that kind of, like I said, cross-partnership working into the mainstream media? Because it's very difficult, because it tends to come across as either, very sort of, roundabout sort of, gay marriage, or it'll come across across a particular activity or a particular event will take place, isn't it? How do you sort of try and promote that kind of partnership?
Well, you're right, it's just the same as having a particular day when we think we can turn out all these displays and banners and then put them away for 364 days. The media is, looks for special occasions, it looks for special issues. It's quite difficult to get that in front of people when it's something normal, positive and everyday. And I think part of the way of doing that is bypassing traditional media and getting out on social media, because by doing that we can control how we present things. Now, we might not get 70,000 people a day reading that kind of output, but it's more accurate, it's more reflective of how things are really done, and we can be more in charge of what we actually put out there and what people get exposed to.
And what sort of information have you got here with you today, George? Have a quick look at your store.
Well, this is a range of some material that Redp has produced. We've got an equality and diversity guide. We've been fortunate that our funding has allowed us to produce some really quite decent material, so that, for example, introducing a reader to the protected characteristics. Protected characteristics is a term that's used in the Equality Act. Sometimes they've been called equality strands or protected grounds in the past, but this is the legal terminology now. Not everyone will be able to name all the protected characteristics. Some people working in the equality and diversity world can't name all the protected characteristics, but they're all laid out here in a very easy to read, easy to follow format, and also to introduce the general reader to the kind of protection that they have under legislation if they are a person who identifies with one or more of the protected characteristics.
Where are people able to pick up a copy of this guide?
Well, we because it's an organisation that spans the East Midlands, we've tried to get these into community centres and voluntary centres all across the region. So you should be able to find them places like Nottingham, Derby, Leicester, Lincoln, Northampton. We've also tried to get them into the hands of community groups in smaller places that are not in those kind of larger urban centres. And they're all available from Redp, some of them in downloadable formats. We take them around to every kind of event that we do, and our goal is you bring a big bag with you and you leave them all behind when you go.
Excellent, fantastic. So if anyone's interested, there'll definitely be some here at the Phoenix Square Film and Digital Media Centre.
I'm not taking them all home.
Excellent. Cheers, George. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.